Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Good evening, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Celtic know how to piss people off right before a European game. Last year, they pissed us off right after a European game by selling Kyogo Furiashi. This year, Celtic have made several announcements today. Yes, they've made several announcements. One announcement that we brought a new striker in 12 months after selling Kyogo Furiashi. The second one was that Celtic now have an app where they can release all your the information, where they can download the app and you'll get some fantastic footage, bringing Celtic into the modern era of 2026 and the social media app world. Then, just to get us all really peed off, Celtic put out another statement. Yes, today we have turned into Statement FC. The statement reads as follows. Celtic supporters can now get even... That's the app one. That's the app one. We'll leave the app one. We know the app, don't we? The one that really pissed us off was this one. Celtic FC and XS2 event announced international partnership by Celtic Football Club. Yes, that's who signed it, by Celtic Football Club. Celtic FC and SX2 event are pleased to announce that a new partnership aimed at making the Scottish champions more accessible to fans from around the world. Did you believe the brass neck of Celtic Football Club? To make the club more accessible to, and I'm going to come off the screen and we'll screen share it. We'll give Celtic the bit of love that they need. Let's bring it over there. Just give Celtic all the love that they need. Through this collaboration, you could not give Celtic a brass neck with a blowtorch. Through this collaboration, even, Celtic will further strengthen its international reach and visibility while making it easier for overseas supporters to attend the matches at Celtic Park. Jerry, they must have, haven't they? Like, fuck, let's get that app out fucking now. Lie number one. There is a waiting list for season tickets at Celtic Park. Lie number two. Celtic Football Club communicate with all its fans around the world. Yet they cannot communicate with the fans that pay money week in, week out. A few thousand fans have made their way over to Italy. And the only time they hear from the club really is when they've been told that, hey, you're on a lucky list, you've got tickets. Celtic is just unbelievable. And yes, this. Do you know what they're going to turn Celtic into? And do you know what they want to turn Celtic into? A Man United fan base. That's what they want. Do away with the Green Brigade, do away with the boys, sell tickets to tourists that come in with their cameras and sit and just take pictures and want pictures with the fans, come in with their tops from other clubs and scarves from other clubs, and just sit there and enjoy themselves. Pay the money, don't sing songs, just be a customer. Whilst, yeah, like the clubs in England, dunno. It's unbelievable. Exclusive. La Cuenta is not joining Celtic. Surprise, surprise. It doesn't. It's not really. It's not really a big deal, is it? It's if we've looked elsewhere. Cheers, cheers. I heard they're opening a store next door to Baz. Fucking I right. But anyway, Michelle says that there's Nacho La Cuenta. It's La Quintana, to be fair. La Quintana. But La Cuenta's gives the bill. That's like Celtic, just gives the bill. Anyway, Celtic have just really ruined the start of the evening for me. So I'm going to drink some Red Bull. I should add vodka for that. Do you think Drambuie and Red Bull would go well? It is in Spanish. It's La Cuenta is the bill. How far am you for Santa Ponza? Even further now than I was. La Quinita is his name. La Cuenta is asking for the bill. But anyway, Celtic are now selling tickets to international fans to attend Celtic Park. They want to make it easier through the technology and platform of SX2 event enables travel professionals worldwide to offer tickets to major sporting events and make it easier for fans to attend matches as part of a trip. That's it. That's all we need. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You're not allowed to wave flags and say that refugees are welcome, but if you want to pay the highest amount to the highest bidder in any country, you can get a ticket to Celtic Park. If you've been on a waiting list for 5 years to get a season ticket, that's the biggest lie coming out of Celtic Football Club, that there's a waiting list. What does this do to Celtic? Waters down the support. And Ben Slater, head of business development at Celtic FC, added, Celtic is a truly global club. No, it's no. With supporters all across the world. Through a partnership with XS2 Event, we are improving access for overseas fans who want to experience Celtic Park on a match day. At the same time, the collaboration helps us significantly increase our international visibility and to connect with new audiences in key markets. In other news, the board are cunts. Ah, Jesus. The board crapped it when they heard the bill. That is true. That's true, Gav boy. They seen the name, La Quintina. And then somebody read it in Spanish and said, the bill? What do you mean the fucking bill? We're not paying bills. Of course we pay bills, but we're not paying that much. Anyway, let's get rid of Iniacho. Is the screen changed? It has, by the power of magic. They've got some kind of lineup up for Bologna. That could be a preview lineup for Bologna. Or is it the real team? Because the team's not out for another 9 minutes for Celtic. That could very well be the team. That very well could be the team. It looks like the team could be out, even though it's not officially out by Celtic. Twitter. Celtic FC. Yeah, that could be the team. Could be the team, could be the preview team. We'll wait and see. Publish. But tell me what you think about that team as it stands. I would say that pretty much is the team. And then it's going to show us the league table. Can Celtic climb the league table tonight? The early kickoff. We've had an early kickoff before, and whilst we did climb the table, we are in 24th position, as you can see there on the screen. And see that 24th on the table. Do we take anything from the game today, or do we just make sure that we get no one injured? And it's good to see that the Celtic have got this new app. They have been, to be fair, this app, if you remember, just over about a year ago now, Celtic employed a guy that worked for Sky and was all about reoccurring memberships. So on this app that you see, if I put it up on the screen, on the app, let's do the split screen for a moment, that Celtic have put out, you will get, there will be subscription parts in it somewhere. That is the whole idea of Celtic Football Club, is to get you all engaged and to go there first for your news. Yes, they're trying to cut out the middleman. They're trying to cut out mainstream media, and we're just here on YouTube for opinions and have our conversations about what we think may be happening at the club. And there's the new guy, and no, it didn't. That was just showing you in the app what he's saying.
I'm Tomasz Čvančara. I'm so happy that I can be here and I can't wait to see you on the stadium. Hail, hail. Hello Celtic fans, I'm Tomasz Čvančara. I'm so happy that I can be here and I can't wait to see you on the stadium. Hail, hail.
Can we just call him Thomas? Because shouting Shavansha, Kavansha for the stands could be a bit troublesome when you've had a few bevies. But anyway, it looks like that is the Celtic team that will come out. Oh, look, there we go. 1 minute ago, the stage is set by Celtic. Let's just stay on the land of Twitter just now. That robs you in the line. Yeah. Robs you in lines of boards pockets. Yeah, of course it will. Of course it will. And I wonder if that's the wrong screen. No, that's not the right screen either. It's this one. There we go. I wonder if this will be the team that is on the screen already. Chavantura. Baz, we've already got that. It's called Michelle. That. Oh dear. Michelle's great for the channel. Gives us lots of good news. Lots of breaking news. It's like all women though. You don't need Google when you've got females in house. Anyway, the Celtic team should be officially out in 5 minutes. I think that it could be the team that potentially does come up. Although there is that Ferguson playing in their team. One thing that I did notice about the new player, Thomas, talking about him, we'll talk about him slightly before the team officially is announced. I think that is the team, though. I think it pretty much will be that team. I can't see it being much different from that team, to be fair. I think that it was interesting to see him training with Odom Owen. He was obviously training with the players that's been left behind in Scotland. There we go. I'd rather give Baz money for Celtic News in the chat. Yeah, thank you for that, Simon. The thing is Celtic will put stuff on the app, and it'll be in a breaking news sense, but it'll be news that everybody will. These things come out when the announcement that Celtic have signed the player and it's official. We all know that he's had his medical. We all know that he's travelled to Scotland. You're just waiting. But then you do get fans, and let's be fair to the fans, that there is a number of fans that don't believe anything until Celtic announce it. There are those people amongst us. I'm kidding on. Just a bit of a joke. Let's go back onto the land of the Twitterati, where we'll get the team as it is announced from Celtic. I'll just hide Jeremy Frimpong and such like. Don't really need Jeremy Frimpong. and anything to do with Celtic right now. 3 minutes until it comes out. What else has Celtic been putting out? Obviously, just all the information. Very happy that I can join this massive club with a massive fan base. I can't wait to play in front of them. And then Celtic released an app and things saying that, we're trying to get in touch with as many fans as we can. Celtic, Michael, just think on a phone, pick it up, phone the Green Brigade, tell them they're allowed back in, and then phone the Celtic Fans Collective and sort out a meeting about just engaging with fans on a regular basis. Because talking to Tam or me or anybody else that's moved thousands of miles away, I think that you really need to talk to the fans that are there and that are on your doorsteps. Do you know what I mean? I think it's unbelievable that Celtic. I think that the app was needed. We knew that app was coming. The app was brought in. The guy that came from Sky, he had been at Sky and was part of membership building platforms, all about reoccurring money. Memberships, paying for reoccurring. Once you buy something on the Celtic app, it'll have a link to Celtic TV somehow, and it's all about getting you more money out of the customer. There's a lifetime value of the customer. There's they see the customer. It's not just what the customer spends. It's not what us fans. Sorry, I'm calling us customers, but we're really fans. It's not what we spend on season tickets in that one season. It's about how much money that they can get out of us over our lifetime. And that's where Celtic are truly aiming for. So I've no real issues with the app. The issues that I do have this afternoon are with Celtic putting out a statement saying that it's going to be easier for international fans to buy tickets. Listen, if international fans, this isn't international fans that they're selling to, is it though? It's corporate fans. It's people that are coming on a holiday and they're like, do you know what? We're on this business trip. It's 5 years coming over on a business trip. We fancy a ticket to Celtic. The corporate side is full. There's no seats in the corporate side. There's a few seats in the main stand. We've just got rid of a few people, actually. Yeah, they were just reprobates and they just kept on pointing fingers and shouting abuse at the board. So we ejected them from the stadium, even though they pay money to follow Celtic for all these years. And we got rid of them, so we can now sell the tickets for an over-exuberated price, as we are just waiting on Celtic announcing the team. But other than that, I would say it's a good day for Celtic. A very good day. We get a player in, we get the app, puts us a bit of a game changer, but it's just a bit of a slap in the face to all the fans that are out there. Right, Celtic. There they go. There is the starting 11. There it is on the screen. Let's click on that and make it bigger. There is the starting 11 for you. Just make it there. Schmeichel, Donovan, Trusty, Scales, Tierney. And McGregor, Engels, Hitate, Yang, Tenekte, and Dyson Maeda. So that team wasn't completely correct, was it? But anyway, we'll take this. On the subs bench is Sinisalo, Dohan, Benji Negrin, Balak, Wisher, McCowan, Johnny Kenny, Paulo Bernardo, Young Murray, Forrest, McCardle, Ralston, and Izaguzu. Interesting one. That young Izaguzu's made the bench. Interesting. Right, let's get. We'll upload this first whilst I'm waiting. And then we will change screens. Not to that one. Yeah, we'll just leave that one on just now, won't we? And then, where is that? That's another one. Where did the screenshot go? There is the players. There is the players. The team. We'll just take it right down to there, just so that everyone could see the team, because a lot of people say you can't see the team. But anyway, tell me what you think of the team. I said that Donovan would start. I said that Trusty, Scales, Tierney would start. I said that they would start. Yeah, it's pretty much the team that I picked this morning, didn't I? Yang Tenekte and Dyson Maeda. Johnny Kenny is on the bench. And you can understand why he's on the bench, because you're wanting Dyson Maeda to try and score a goal tonight. And will Dyson Maeda... I don't think that Dyson will be sold in this window, but it would be very interesting to see if Celtic did do anything in the market when it comes to Dyson, but I doubt it. Eyes up with the gossip news. Ay, tell me about it. Thanks for that, Simon, for the super chat. Also, just get that back in there. So right there, let me just change screens. Tell me what you think of that team. Let's see, why is Maeda up front? His returns are worse than Kenny. Big Rab complainer already. Jesus. I mean, who would you rather up front? Dyson Maeda? Dyson Maeda or Johnny Kenny? Rio Hatate starting. European game. You're always expecting Dyson to start. And Rio Hatate, to be fair. I would say it was the strongest possible team, for definite. I don't think that Balak Wisher, not up to it. The worrying part is the defenders, because you've only got, in defence, you've only got Murray and Ralston that have got any experience at this level, and that's what your backup is. So it does show the importance of getting as many players as we can in this window. I still think today that we need another 5 players to come in this window, just to make the squad better. Obviously, Stephen Welsh hasn't travelled because Stephen Welsh was not in the European squad because he was loaned out at the beginning of the season before the transfer window ended. And so he wasn't in the European squad, hence the reason that Stephen Welsh was spotted training with Odom Ohm and the new guy, Thomas. Strange one. It is a strange one. John Shirley, how are you this afternoon? Wee Mitch has just done a super chat. Have a beer on me, says Wee Mitch. I think that we'll all need more than a beer tonight. But yeah, thank you for that, mate. I'll have one. If I can get finished early enough tonight, I might treat the missus and take her out for a wee swally. She's not ready for her bed the time the football finishes and stuff. Because we'll be going on till about yawn time tonight. But yeah, thank you for that, mate. Much appreciated, has to be said. As all the super chats, not just the super chats, but all the chats on the channel as well. Nothing not too impressed about. No one else. Is what it is. It is what it is. There's no point getting overexcited about the team. It's the strongest team we could have put out. It's the strongest bench we could have put out. Do you know? It is what it is. We just make sure that there's no injuries, and ultimately we try and get in some more players. I'm doing a watch along tonight. There will be a watch along after this for my sins. I'm going to have a Drambuie before the game though, so hopefully it has the same effect as what it did back in the early 2000s when Martin O'Neill used to manage Celtic. If I wasn't at a game, even when I was at games, the last drink in the pub would be a Drambuie, and it brought us luck then. Hopefully it brings us luck tonight. Not that I'm over the moon that I think that we're going to do better, but it's Europe, and we just take what we can, I think. Benji's a superstar sub, will come on, win us the game. I wonder why he didn't start Benji. Because Hatate, you will know within You will know within 5 minutes if Hitate's ultimately up for it. Bologna. Just see. Get their team. Match day. They just put out the squad list. They haven't put their team onto Twitter. One of those nights. Yeah, they've not put their team on Twitter, so I don't know where they would announce their team. We'll see if it's on their website. Jesus, they've got an unbelievable amount of letters from their website. It's just got the squad list. You could still buy tickets for the game. The estimated time, you're a minute in the waiting list, in the list. There are currently a lot of fans. Check this out. This is live on the Bologna site. Let's get rid of that. This is live on the Bologna site right now. It's your turn. You're now being redirected to the website. So you could buy a ticket for the game tonight. €57. Few moments. Oi. Oh, there's a load of seats together. No, there's not that many seats left, is there? There's a handful. There's like 4 seats or something. Yeah, it's a sellout. They try to kid on. They're like, there's tickets for sale. Yeah, and this one section, 2 sections. There's and the Celtic fans will be in this section here, I believe. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. Let's get it back on to this one. They should see. Oh, let's come off that. But no, they don't have the seats. They don't have the team available as yet. And let's just put the team back up there just now until it changes itself. And there we go. That's not the team. That is not the team. Oh, that's the team. There we go. We'll put that there just now, just to cover that. And that is the team for this evening. Bologna versus Celtic. The next game after this one is obviously Hearts this weekend away to Edinburgh. And then we do have a game against Utrecht after that. What a baptism of fire for Martin O'Neill there. What is the other team's lineup? No idea. We can't find it. I've read that comment. I don't know. Let's just jump to the end. No point panicking. Getting a spot on the bench. Yes, he's on the bench. He is on the bench tonight. Anything better, not be a trouncing. Not expecting anything, says Dave Morton. As long as it's a respectable scoreline. Don't know. I can't see it being as bad as it was in the Champions League last year. Let's face it that way. I don't think that we're going to get absolutely mullered by them. They're not in a great goal scoring run themselves. So I think that anything that we can get for the game tonight. I think the big players for Celtic tonight is going to be Tenecti, Yang. Yang's got goals in him. You've got to say there's goals in this Celtic team. If Celtic go for it, there's every chance that we could score goals for definite. Yang's got goals in him. Tenecti, you could say, has maybe got a goal in him. If he's not, he's got some cracking passes into Dijsselmeyer, Yang at the back post. Dijsselmeyer's due a goal. In the midfield, Engels doesn't really score a lot of goals now. Hatate, every time you see Hatate taking a shot, it goes somewhere up into the sky. The International Space Station puts out an SOS call, thinking that there's incoming aliens. It's not. It's just an Hatate shot. When you look at McGregor from the outside of the box, maybe news. I'm trying to get the Bologna team. It's still not match centre. There we go. I don't just I'm trying to get me put my email address. I just want the match centre. You squad list match centre news. They signed a player 2 hours ago. Also, it's just got the squad list. No, it's just got the squad list. It doesn't have the teams as yet, but it will come up on the screen once it's sorted itself out. Hopefully in the next 5-10 minutes. Let me just see this and check out. That's obviously the live fixture list of the games this evening. So all the other games that are played in Europa tonight, we will get the live score lines. In fact, we'll not, because there's only 2 games that kick off early, isn't there? Which is unfortunate. Let me just double check. Has that team changed? Yes, it has changed, because Ferguson's in the team now. Ferguson wasn't on the team, so that's their team on the screen now. And then it should be the right Celtic team just coming up in a minute. So they're going to play a 4-3-3 also. Yeah, it is the right team. That is their team on the screen. So there is the 2 teams live. Have you sent me something? Where is... Come on, open up. There, it's there. Yeah, I didn't think so. Nope. Anyway, right now that you've seen that, I am still going for a draw tonight in the game. Let's get some of your comments up to see what you're saying about it. There's another super chat come in. There's only one. Stephen Johnson says, Magnus. Thank you for that, Stephen Johnson. I love you for that. Maeda's not interested. Well, by all accounts, Dyson's going to be here to the end of the season, so I think that he needs to be interested. Yeah, just the team you listed, I've already seen. Doesn't matter. I think we'll win 2-1. Says Haggis, Neeps and Patatas. Ferguson's their unlucky charm. Ferguson's never won against Celtic. He's been beaten 13 times and he's drawn 3. I think it could be... I've got a funny feeling for a draw tonight. A draw would be a fantastic result. 2-2 or 2-1 to us tonight. And Stephen Johnson says, cheers. 16-0 Celtic. That's a ridiculous scoreline, Stuart. I'd love to get some of what you've been on. 1-2 or 1-1. I don't know, but I have a feeling we're going to nick it 2-1. If we do win 2-1, Martin O'Neill needs to get in 5 players this week. Because if he can do this against Bologna, this was the game that I was convinced at the start of the campaign would be just a game too far. I felt that this team and the way that Bologna had been playing the previous season and stuff, they were doing just fantastic. I think that if we get anything, you know, it'll be a fantastic result. If we don't, I would take a draw all day long and go for 1-1, 2-1 to Celtic. If we don't get anything, it's not the end of the world. You know, we're still on 7 points. As long as we don't end up too far down the table come the end of the night, which I'm hoping that we don't. Hence the reason I think a draw. 3 of their starters are out. They've been leaking goals. This could be the best time to face them. Could be. We need some Martin magic tonight. I just keep on thinking back to when Martin O'Neill was the manager against Juventus. And he said that our players were outstanding. Outstanding. Albeit for a dubious penalty decision in the game, which ultimately made Celtic lose the game. But it's one thing that they need to be careful of tonight is we all know that the Italians and the way that they play. Ferguson, physical player, he'll be right up for it. We all know that dirty wee will be right up for it. Still think it'll be 2-1 Bologna. Could be. I can see it being like when we went away to Lazio. Oh. Do you think so? That would be hilarious because seemingly the Lazio ultras came up to Bologna to try and pay the Celtic fans some respect and a little bit of a visit. Whether they did or not, I'm not too. We're all eventually predicting low scores. Yeah, I can't see it being a high scoring game tonight. Martin O'Neill will have us far too organised at the back. See one to the hoops? Not a chance. With Celtic's away record is abysmal. Bologna will thump us. They'll beat us 4-1. If Schmeichel's in goal, well, he's in goal. So if Schmeichel cocks up tonight, Jesus God. If we can play like we did in Feyenoord, we'll win the game. An outstanding defeat. Yeah, it was an outstanding defeat. To be fair, I mean, Celtic we came back that game against, I mean, what did it end up 4-3, was it? I can't remember. I'm talking about 20 odd years ago. But Celtic did brilliant that night, and you thought you were going to snatch a draw. And you've got to remember, that was at a time where Juventus were a massive team in Europe. Do you know, the Italian football was still on the cusp of the end of the 1990s, and they were just fantastic teams that just knew how to win in Europe. And then they went through a dark phase. But anyway, no one is complaining if it's a draw. Nope, no one complaining if it's a draw. I think it'll be a fantastic result. It gets us on the 8 points. We need 10 to qualify. Don't know. But anyway, to be honest, Maeda has been employed. He's been an empty jersey, says Michael. Ferguson is involved. He's on the team there. If you see up there, he's in the middle of the park. According to that, he is involved, but we'll wait and see. Martin O'Neill's press interview after the Juve game is legendary. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's just, he went on the rant of all rants, didn't he? He's just, he didn't hold back in that TV interview. When he spoke about the team kept on attacking and they defended wave after wave after wave of Italian attack, and we kept in the game, you know, and it was, you have to go and watch it if you go and look for it or it's bound to be on YouTube somewhere, but it was unbelievable. Yes, I was going to say that, Paul, but I didn't. It's got a draw written all over it, says John. We're all getting older. Yeah, we are that. Yang hat-trick betting updates. God, Jesus. Michelle puts a bet on Yang every single game to score a hat-trick. 200 to 1. What are the odds on Celtic scoring 3 goals tonight? Because they'll not be far off a 200 to 1 themselves. I loved Martin O'Neill that night after Juve. Yeah, it was fantastic. I don't think that we've ever had a manager that has been so passionate about Celtic, ever. To know that I mean, Martin O'Neill in his younger days at Celtic was just an unbelievable manager. He was so motivated, and and it did affect him after Seville, and he maybe stayed a year longer than he wanted to, but it's the same story. We're 20 years down the line, and we've got the board not backing O'Neill. Hence the reason that Martin O'Neill, at the press conference, oh, that's the shower of moo. Shower of shite that there. Was it this one? No, it's not. It's because it's the live one. I don't have it on the screen. The picture from Martin O'Neill from last night. But anyway, I'm saying 1-0 Celtic. That would be a cracking. Goals or not, Maida is unstoppable if he's motivated. Well, he's playing through the middle tonight, so you're expecting some good ball. You're expecting Tanakti and Yang to be completely on the game tonight. Yang has to start taking on players, which he's started doing. Yang's issue earlier on in the season was that Yang wouldn't take on players. Now that he started taking on players and he has a belief in himself, we've finally got two wingers that can cut inside a bit, like what James Forrest used to do in his younger days. But I think that if Tanekti can get some of the good crosses in, that we know that he's able to get in. Yang, it all depends if Yang's seen his misses in the last week. Jokes aside, I mean, Yang can he can come in and he can cut inside and go past a few players and get a fantastic shot away and goal. He can run down the wing, get to the byline, and try and cross it in. And he's just got to hit it straight, but he kicks it away out that way. If we can get those two playing well tonight, I think that you've then got the midfield is where it's really, there's no one from midfield running into the box. Yeah, I'm not seeing Rio Hitati is not coming in on the edge of the box and scoring a screamer. If he does, tell you, hats off to him tonight. But he's not a player that is known for his goal scoring capabilities over the last couple of seasons. Callum McGregor, he can strike it from the edge of the pitch. They will know that. Lewis Ferguson will have given them the lowdown. Watch Calmac on the edge of the pitch, because that lad can hit a screamer. But maybe that'll be the deflection. That'll be they'll put a lot of pressure. And don't be surprised if it looks like Callum McGregor is doing nothing tonight, because there's every chance that they will know that everything runs through Callum McGregor. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Italians man-marked Callum McGregor tonight, changed their formation a bit, or made sure that there was a player always on McGregor in the midfield, which will make it look as if Callum's just standing pointing. But what he'll really be doing, you need Rio Hitati to come into that midfield, to come closer to Callum McGregor, so that it mixes up a bit, so that players, run out of position, and that allows Callum to make runs. And then you've got Arne Engels. You could see maybe Arne Engels coming into the box, helping Dies out. Tierney overlapping Tenecti, getting a cracking cross in. And there's not a lot of height. That's the only thing going into this game. Maida's our match winner tonight, says Ali. Ferguson will probably play his brother's Brown Brogues. Yeah. They might be play for a draw. Do you think that they'll play for a draw? They don't need to. I mean, they'll want to make sure that they stay as high up the league as possible. When you look at the league, Midtjylland, who absolutely trounced Celtic, are second in the league. And then you've got to go down to, you've got Forest. Let me just make this bigger so I could see it. Bologna are and 13th position. I mean, they will think that they could, if they can win their last two games, they know that they've got a chance to push to top 8. So they've got the motivation. We've got them. If we draw against them, it's not a bad thing. If we lose against them, we're then against Utrecht, who are away down in 32nd position. And then you've just got all the mince teams that are like from 33 downwards. The real rubbish of European football. What time's their kickoffs tonight? Anyway, let's jump into some more of the comments. One says, Sugar Man. Was that the last home game? The last home game is Utrecht, which is next week, I believe. Next Thursday is the Utrecht game. And then by the end of January, we will know where and how close we are to Hearts at the top of the table. Hopefully we can reduce. Sunday will take care of itself. We just need to focus on tonight. But what a hell of a end of a month for Martin O'Neill. As long as we don't get humped, 2-1 Celtic, bring it on. That club in 33rd place. Yeah. Yang to score anytime, 14-1. For him to score a brace, 40-1. Jesus. Power flickering up in Ballach. 2-1 to Celtic. A draw isn't a disaster, but as a win is a big Brucey bonus. Talk about Brucey bonuses. A draw's not a disaster. I think a draw is a fantastic result. I'm still going with the narrative of if we can end up on 8 points tonight, and then God forsake us that it comes down to the last game, and if we draw our last two games, and then just miss out on the top 24, would be devastating. Absolutely devastating. Maeda with an early goal sets us up for a shock win. That's a turning point, I hope. 4 goals chopped off, dubious penalty, and an own goal and a red card. Celtic bingo card in Europe. Yeah, that is it, isn't it? Imagine if the board had backed Martin this January. It would have made no difference for this game tonight, because you can't play any of the players. The next time that you can play players, when you sign players in January, you can only play them when you get through to the knockout phase, which would be either the final 16 or the playoff position. Young Man's song has to be sung tonight. Baz can sing it. Oh dear. Take a score draw. Can't see us getting a clean sheet, says Peter. We got cheated with the penalty, he mentioned now, and they spent 100 million on a team. I've got 2-1 Celtic. Scales to score any time. Ooh. Scales header. Someone needs to start putting headers in. As long the last time Scales scored a header, it was an own fucking goal. It was an own goal. Stephen Johnson's in with the super chat tonight, also, as is Gareth. And as Stephen Johnson says, Baz, take the hand of God out for a meal. Thank you, Stephen. You hearing that, hand of God? It's like waiting on the Celtic boards getting back to you. They only listen when they want to. Gareth's coming in with the super chat. Also, he said Bologna front three scored 10 goals all season. That's an interesting one. They've scored 10 goals all season. What is Daiz Maeda on? Yang's bound to be on 3. Interesting. Sebastian Tenecti, just a new player in. That's a hard. The thing is the majority of Celtic goals have not come from. They've not come from strikers, and that's been the big issue. Because if Johnny Kenny had put away one of the 20 chances, even if Johnny Kenny had put away 50% of the chances that he has. But then there's some games where he's just not getting the ball at all. Ramos would take a draw. I would take a draw also. We're due a good performance. If we don't win tonight, Thomas will probably abuse his new teammates in WhatsApp. If they don't win tonight, he's probably going to be sitting next to Odom Ohm back in Glasgow going, you made the right decision, mate. I adore Martin O'Neill, absolute legend. There we go. That's all we have. Bologna play slowed up, build up possession game, which will suit us. We'll take them apart on the break. All three front players will score. What, for them or for us? Was that Martin's version of Keegan's rant at Man United? No. Keegan's rant at Man United was, I'd love it. I'd fucking love it if we beat them. And they didn't. They fucked up. Martin O'Neill's rant was more that we were fantastic. Keegan's rant was before a game was played. Martin O'Neill's rant was after a game was played. That's the significant difference. And Celtic were just, it was a dubious penalty on the night for Juventus. But Kevin Keegan's Newcastle, his rant was before games were played, and it was a hope that they would win the league. That's what Keegan's rant was thinking, that they're going to win the league, but they never. Well, beat them. And it just didn't happen. Martin O'Neill was praising the players, and he left the media and everyone with absolutely no doubt how well he thought that Celtic played that evening. All the talk about signings, to be honest, couldn't care less if it's loan signings, as long as they improve the squad for the rest of the season. We can concentrate on identifying the permanent players towards the summer. Yeah, the next manager's going to have a lot of hard work to do. Dyson match winners tonight? I hope so. I hope it does. Celtic girl Jota, just telling it as it is. Yang is good with his head. I'm putting that one up. Yusuf Haran is the same player, Juventus game. Yusuf Haran was never the same player after that Juventus. You might be right. You might be right. Sorry, I'm just trying to jump through it. We need a Petrov-style player to play for European competition. Callum has been and done since last March. We're still in for we're still looking at midfield players, but it's not seen as a main priority, because Martin O'Neill knows that, you know, the reality of the situation is Europe's just getting in the way this season. You know, towards the end of the season, the next Martin O'Neill could have done without Europe, to be honest. He pretty much said that. You could tell it by his body language. You know, his body language yesterday at the press conference was unbelievable, and you could see that Martin O'Neill he's thinking, look, this is a game that we can't think about too much. We obviously won't throw it away. We won't not try. It's not in the Celtic way not to try. We will go out. We will give our all. But we're not thinking, you know, if we win this game, we win the next, and then we can get to this, and then we can maybe plan a route through Europe. They're not planning. They're not looking at it like that. But with that being said, between me and you, the way that it kind of works, come closer so you can hear me. The way that it kind of works is, see, when you're not really focusing on something and you just go out and enjoy your football and stuff, sometimes funny things happen in football and players just, all their inhibitions go, and you never know. If we get the win tonight, and then it gives the players that little lift to say, well, we've won away a couple of times now in Europe. We've won away at Feyenoord. if we win away in Bologna, don't know. That's two massive scalps in the eyes of these Celtic players. And then they start to think, it's like, well, let's just see who we get in the knockout phase, for the qualification for the last 16. You never know. Anyway, let me get back to everyone else. So, Celtic girl Jota has done a super chat, what she sent to it this evening. Thanks for all you do, Baz. Hail, hail, and Mon the Hoops. Thank you, Celtic girl Jota. And we'll jump into some more of the comments. I'm not worried about this game, Mon the Hoops, win, lose, or draw. Quietly confident. I think that we should be quietly confident. It's not. I don't think that we're going to go in and say we're going to do big things. If we can just take the pressure off the players. We've went into these games and we've put too much negativity onto the players. People can feel the negativity. We're all dreading it, or we're all, like last year in the Champions League, super confident. Well, we're all super confident going to Germany, and it's like, this is it. We're going to absolutely mill the Germans. Half time, we're like, well, it's not going the way we thought, is it? Really? Anywhere we can run and hide? It's not the Celtic way, though, is it? But anyway, I think that we should be quietly confident. Johnny Kenny has plops. Celtic to win 1-0 tonight. Goals in SBFL top 3. Benji Negrin has scored 10 goals. Dyson Maeda has scored 7. And Arne Engels has scored 3. How much has Yang scored 3 goals, is he not? Anyway, Benji Negrin's not playing, so. But then he could come on as a sub and score a goal. Just no injuries, that'll do me for Sunday. I think that'll do everything. I'd move Scales to man Mark Ferguson. Like myself, a thick Mick. Would you do that? Just to annoy him? I'm not a fan of Tenecte, to be honest. His end product and tracking back is sometimes AWOL. Kuhn wasn't good at tracking back either. I think that the way that you set up in the 4-3-3, you're not expecting the front three to sort of run back. You're expecting more the midfielders and the wing backs to do that. But yeah, Lenny already brought a good Italian jacket. Lenny's already brought a cool jacket. Shout out to the team. Shout the team out, please, Baz. Can't make it out. The team. The team is on the screen. Tierney, Scales, Trusty, Donovan, Schmeichel's in goals. In the midfield, you've got Engels, Hatate, and McGregor as it's got McGregor and Hatate in the wrong position. I don't know why they've done that. And then up front, it's got Tenecte, Dyson Maeda, and Yang in the lineup tonight. So it's a team that, defensive wise, Donovan's a good player, but is he European ready? It's that old adage: if you're good enough, you're young enough. Do you know what I mean? And we need to be. He needs to be. Look, it's either him or Ralston, and I think that you're going to go with him all day long because I think he's better than Ralston. To be fair, I do think he's better than Ralston. Martin has got this, I reckon. Well, let's hope that he's got it. 3-1 Celtic tonight, coming out of Oslo. A double for Arne Engels. And on his way back to Celtic in the summer. Watch this space. Don't shoot the messenger. Do you think so? You think so, Scott? Ange's on his way back to... I don't know how I'd feel about that, to be honest, because I'm kind of sick of managers coming back now. I'm kind of hoping you're wrong, mate. I don't know if I'd... Ange in Europe with Celtic. Maybe he's changed because he changed at Spurs. Do you know, he went all defensive at Spurs in Europe. And maybe he learned from his time. There's a thought. Maybe Ange learned from his time at Celtic, but I'm not too keen on Ange coming back, to be fair. We'll wait and see on that one. Imagine we'd done a Spurs and won the European trophy, but didn't do well in the league. Would you be happy with this? It's got 2003 written all over it, isn't it? That one. Because we didn't win anything in 2003. Do you know, we got to the Europa League final and kind of knackered the team out. But if there was a way, do you know, and I think that watch the positioning and the positions of the team, because I think that if it's going to happen, and the gods sometimes just align, don't they? And I think that Martin O'Neill will have to come up against Nottingham Forest. And that's the big one. That's the massive one. Martin O'Neill coming up against Nottingham Forest. The team that he won the big cup with, the double as a player. You know, he's legendary at Nottingham Forest as a player. Away back in the 70s, coming into the 80s. And it's legendary with Celtic. You can just see it's just a clash. It's just one of those ways. And Martin O'Neill's going to go out and he's going to finish his footballing career all these years later. God, could you imagine if it was Forest? Oh, don't say that. Could you imagine if it was Celtic versus Nottingham Forest in the final? Fuck. Dreams are made of those kind of things. Celtic have got a fairy tale about it. You know, you never know. But then again, we could go out tonight and get absolutely hammered. Absolutely hammered. But we'll wait and see. I'm going to jump through some of the comments that came in. Dougie, when first When Martin first came back, I told the wife he's going to get us to the Euro final again. It's not impossible, guys. And that would be a fairy tale. That would be. I think that the bigger fairy tale would be the meeting of Nottingham Forest and Celtic in this competition. Tenecti could be the difference maker tonight if he consistently produces an end product. He'll be some player. Yeah, well, that. Hopefully, it will be Engels' last game. Engels is going nowhere, mate. Engels is not going this window. He's going absolutely nowhere. I'm on my 7th Guinness, says Scott. seventh Guinness. I think we'll smash them and Hearts. There we go. Let's hope so. I don't think the club want to win Eurovision this year. Maybe not. I normally get a knot in my stomach if we're going to play bad tonight. Don't. So a big win for Celtic. Just YouTubed Martin's Juventus interview. Not many managers speak like that these days. No, there's not. There's not. And Martin O'Neill was. People underestimate how much. I mean, people think that it was an easy option for Dermot Desmond to phone up Martin O'Neill, and people don't realise, do you know, how much Martin O'Neill loved Celtic. Do you know, when he was a football player, his dad said to him, if Celtic come calling, you walk all the way to Celtic Park. Do you know, if Celtic, is there even a hint of Celtic want you, you start walking and you get there to sign for them. And when the call came for him to manage the club, there was no even thinking about it for 2 seconds. Martin O'Neill, it was his dream job, as far as he was concerned, to be able to manage Celtic Football Club. And then all these years later, he's never thinking that he's going to get the call back. I mean, he said about it. He said, over the years, when you see Celtic are going to change manager, you think about it. You wonder if they'll pick up the phone. But the way that Celtic were going, it was always a younger manager, and they never really went down the road of an older manager type. So when the call finally came back, and Dermot phones him. I mean, you could probably count on one hand how many times Dermot has phoned Martin O'Neill over the last 20 years. And that's no joke. And then that day, when he's just walking down the street after buying his coffee, and the phone goes and he picks it out of his pocket and he's like, I bet you he smiled, because he would have been sitting in the cafe and wherever, and he would have seen the news coming up. He would have known that Brendan Rodgers had, well, we wouldn't have at that time because it wasn't public knowledge, was it? And when Martin got the phone call, it wasn't public knowledge that Martin was gone, that Brendan was gone. So when the phone goes and then he gets the story, he's basically just like, yeah, I'll be up tonight, tomorrow, just as soon as I can, just whatever. Jesus. But there is always that thought at the back of your mind. Can he do it? Can he do it? But anyway, we will wait and see. We will wait and see, because it's either going to end one way or the other tonight. We're going to be over the moon that Schmeichel's had an absolutely fantastic save. The back four of Donovan, Trusty, Scales and Tierney have played the defensive duty of titans in defence. McGregor, Arnie Engels and Hatate in midfield have completely dominated. And then Yang, Tenekte and Dyson Maeda powering down the wings, getting crosses, flying in for Dyson Maeda to put into the back of the net. Let's hope it works out like that. I'm away to get ready for the match. There will be a watch along. Make sure that you do join me for that. I will just... well, if you go into the channel, you'll see that the watch along is the next video. Get a draw and then beat Utrecht, and we're through to the next round. Yes, with the playoff positions, that's for certainty. I can see Celtic 2-1 tonight. I hope it is a Celtic 2-1 win tonight. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening. If you are sitting in the house watching the telly tonight, get your phone out, stick us on on your phone, and make sure that you join in the chat, so that if you're sitting at home watching it on the telly, get your phone out, watch it on the telly, get your phone out, join in the chat on the phone, and let's make some noise for the boys at home. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. Hope we do this, hope we fucking do this.